to another person, when you lend your soul out to another person, and you lend your heart out to another person, you open the door for the raping of the enemy. And the raping of the enemy, what it does is that it comes in and it plants seeds into your soul so that you can't understand why you can't will to be in the will of God. Or you can't will to love God with your whole heart. Now people sing these songs and Lord, I love you with my whole heart, but do you really? What does it mean to love him with your whole heart? All of you. All of you. That if God told you that everything that you know is wrong. No. Everything that you know is wrong. That he said, I want you to start from scratch. Like a baby that doesn't even know numbers or letters. That if I told you that everything that you learned with your pride and how you put so much investment into your intellectual basis and how you've been so strong and mighty about what you know and how you've relied on your principles and your household's name, would you be able to say, teach me all over again? If I told you that everything that you know is wrong, and that I need you to relearn me all over again, to drop your titles and drop your positions and drop what you think you know and what you have invested and put so much credence to. If I told you that you were wrong and to start from the beginning, would you be willing? And so I ask of you, being that that is your all, do you really love him with your whole heart? There's nothing wrong with it if you don't. Sort of like I believe, but help down my unbelief. I'm not saying you ain't got 97%, but that 3% is enough to drop a little seed. Okay? There's a door that can be opened when you're not all or nothing. Okay? Because see, temptation, and I love my best friend Bianca for what she taught me about a week ago. She told me there's a difference between opportunity and temptation.
That's right.
Oh, I was ready to preach at 3 o'clock in the morning. There's a difference between opportunity and temptation. Opportunity is I'm standing here and Bishop could slap me in my face right now. That's an opportunity. Because he got 2 hands and I got a face. Right? But temptation is the 50-50 chance of him battling whether he should or should not, meaning that there is somewhat of a desire for the opportunity that has presented itself. You bring a woman in front of me, I am not going to be tempted because I don't desire that opportunity. Okay, so that becomes an opportunity to me. To do what? You can't tell me nothing but where my daddy went. Now you bring the right person around me. You bring the right man. That's a temptation.
That's right.
Because it's 50-50. I know I want it.
That's right.
And so there's this little thing in me that's kind of like,
Come on now.
do I or do I not? Or how far can I go without going too far? Sometimes you're not even thinking about sin, and sometimes you're just trying to figure out how much you can play with the fire. And so then that becomes the temptation. Because something in me desires to be caught up with it. I just want to taste it. I'm not saying I'm going to eat it. I just want the crumbs. Can I just taste it a little bit? Because there's a little 50% in there. It might be 60. And the more you stay around, it might go up to 97 because you're sitting there playing with your temptation. And your opportunities are not now it's not just an opportunity, but it's an opportunity that has studied your desires. So an opportunity then that is sent from the enemy studies what you want. What is it that you individually desire? Because that's what the enemy will send. See, I like shoes. So you send a sale for shoes. And I'm going to be tempted to to get them shoes. Now, mind you, some temptations are not necessarily natured as bad, but the timing of when they're presented can be unhealthy for you. Because if I know that it's not time for me to get another pair of shoes, but I need to invest into my life on this end, then when I get tempted by the shoes, oh, it's okay for me to get it. Then your money when you need to be over here is lacking. And you're saying, God, I need money to pay my rent. I need money to pay for my car. But he said, go back and look at your closet and find out when that was an opportunity or a temptation. Did I tell you it was the time? I'm telling you, do you love me with your whole heart? That even if I told you, don't buy that pair of shoes, that you put yourself not in the position to keep going around the sale. Don't put yourself in a position where you keep being tempted by your desires when God said, I'll give it to you, but it's not the season for it. Will you trust me that I will take you to where I want you to be? But will you love me enough to trust that I know when it's right for you? So do you love me with your whole heart? Because I need you to love me in this season with your whole heart. That you will no longer be battling in your spirit as to whether or not you're going to do something that you desire. Yes, I desire, but you take even your honest desires and your deepest cravings, the things that you targeted your life to go after, and you take that desire back to the King of Glory and say, God, is this the time, or should I go back and wait? And if he tells you to wait and you feel like you can't, go back to the altar, keep praying, get busy in his presence, and say, God, while I'm trying to figure out if this is the time for me to come after you, then I ask you by your authority to teach me how to crave you, teach me how to have an appetite for you, that I know this is good for me. And you said you give me the desires of my heart, but until it's my time, I ask you by the authority of Jesus to position my appetite for yours. I want my will to crave Jesus. I take my soul out of the hands of Satan and out of the hands of my desires. Everything that I desire, sometimes we lend our souls out to them. We lend our hearts out to them. And now the desire has your heart and it has your soul. But God reposition me so that my timing is your timing.
Yes! Jesus!
Now, I ain't even got to my text yet. Give me about 10 minutes, I'm going to work this out. So he's asking me to love him with my whole heart. Okay? All right, I like the crowd we got in here today. He asked me to love him with my whole heart. Okay? And so how are we going to tie this into Revelation 12? Well, I'm about to show you, then I'm going to sit down. Now we go down in the book of Revelation chapter 12 and find this woman that was anointed and impregnated by God to birth a child, a man-child, that was to rule the nations.